This is a First Coast News on Your Side special presentation.
So what's the problem?
I have called everybody. I spend 90% of my time inside, but I can't find my daughter's grave. This would be life-changing.
Ask Anthony. Now here's First Coast News on Your Side anchor Anthony Austin.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Ask Anthony. We want to take a look back at all the people we've helped in the past year. Our first Ask Anthony story involves a disabled veteran who purchased solar panels and she was having a problem with those panels. Monique Bates bought these panels from a local company called IRS Solar Group, also known as USA Energy Savers. After I aired her story, I received numerous emails from people with the same issues. All she wanted was a valid warranty. So this is how we helped her solve her problem.
Some guys were walking through the neighborhood and asked me if I'd be interested in getting solar panels, and I said, sure.
In January of last year, Monique Bates purchased these solar panels to lower the cost of her electric bill. I spoke with her at her home in October. How much did those panels cost you?
$50,000.
Money she considered an investment, but from the beginning she had problems. So the panels were installed in January, but were they working?
No, they were not working.
According to this work order, Monique purchased the solar panels from a company called USA Energy Savers, and she was given this 30-year warranty. So you contacted the warranty company, and what did you find out?
That they are not in business with them. They say they're not doing business with them. They stopped doing business with them, and they just shouldn't be out here selling policies.
The warranty is through a company called Solar Insure. The only company I could find with that name is based in California. I ended up speaking with a customer service representative online named Charlie, who told me he remembered helping Monique when she called to ask questions about the warranty she received from USA Energy Savers. The rep said in his message to me, at the very top of it, you can see the name is IRS Solar Insure and not Solar Insure. Furthermore, that is not our company logo. According to Monique's paperwork, the company she bought the solar panels from acknowledged there was an issue with the warranty and they were going to send her a copy of the new one, but she says she never received it. You're a disabled veteran.
Correct.
And you're on a fixed income?
Correct. So I can't just come out of my pocket for some solar panels if something happened to them. So that's why that warranty is important.
Just a few days ago, I received a phone call from a representative with Solar Insure. The CEO of the company saw our story.
We are covering the cost of her 30-year warranty and monitoring. Unfortunately, she was offered something that the company was not authorized to sell. It had never been registered or covered. And when she came to realize that, and with the help of your story, we were able to help her out with that.
Tabitha Pardon is vice president of operations and says they just wanted to make things right for Monique, especially since she served our country.
I was ecstatic that somebody actually saw my story and reached out to me and was willing to help me.
So now you got your 30-year warranty, and how are your solar panels?
Oh, they're great. And they monitor them too, so they're great. I'm happy.
This is one of my most popular stories. Back in March, I told you about two viewers with the same problem. They both own Hyundais. They were having engine issues. Basically, their cars were undrivable, and they both had warranties or other protections, so they thought the manufacturer was going to take care of the problem, but their claims were denied. A World War II veteran saw their story and contacted me for help.
Kept it as pristine as I could, you know.
In 2015, Melvin Garrett purchased this brand new Hyundai Sonata from a local dealership. Last December, with 82,000 miles on the odometer, Garrett says the engine failed, so he filed a claim with Hyundai. The car came with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
I didn't have 100,000 miles. I didn't have 10 years.
The 95-year-old thought his car would be repaired since his warranty was still valid. But when he took it to the dealership,
right away, she said, if you got sludge, you may have a problem.
The World War II veteran says his claim was denied due to sludge in the engine and the lack of proper upkeep.
They said they're not going to fix your car because it was your fault. You abused the car.
Garrett disputes those claims and showed me his service records. And you seem like someone who would take care of your vehicle.
Oh, even when I was leasing, my wife has a lease, but even when I was leasing a car, I never used up the full mileage on them.
In March, I interviewed Cody Evans. Last year, about a week before Christmas, Evans and his wife were driving down a Jacksonville highway when this happened.
Do you have your AAA card on you?
Yeah. Nope, it won't do anything.
He had a 100,000-mile warranty on his Tucson. The SUV was currently at 96,000 miles. He thought it was going to be repaired after speaking with his service advisor, but he says a few weeks later, the claim was denied.
Due to exceptional maintenance neglect, after having already been told there were no signs of neglect, they had already had my maintenance records, they had already had my explanation, and they had already tore apart the engine.
Evans filed a civil suit in St. Johns County against Hyundai. He was awarded $8,000. According to court documents, a Hyundai representative never showed up to court. However, the car manufacturer is now appealing that judgment. He hasn't received a dime. I also interviewed Wanda Burrow. She bought a 2016 Hyundai Sonata from a local dealership for her son, but they noticed a problem.
The car kept seeming to run out of oil. It was low on oil.
Burrow says they only had the car for a few weeks when it started cutting off while her son was driving. She says the car was taken back to the dealership, and she thought they would take care of the problem, but they didn't. Burrows says she was told
the driver's fault for lack of maintenance. And I'm like, but we just bought this vehicle. We just brought it in for its first oil change. How can that be?
I had a lengthy conversation with Hyundai's corporate office in March. A representative told me there's two sides to every story, and they stand by their responses to the customers. For Garrett, there's a simple solution to this ongoing issue. What would you like to see happen?
I'd like to see them fix the car.
Just this September, Hyundai recalled more than 1 million cars and SUVs due to a fire risk. There's also been a number of recalls for different models over the years due to engine issues. I've contacted Hyundai about the problem. I contacted their corporate office in California, and they tell me they're looking into Garrett's issue. I would call this a first in my journalism career. I interviewed a dead woman. According to the IRS, Teresa Williams wasn't alive. The Fleming Island woman just wanted to get her tax refund check, so she contacted me for help. So you contacted me because the IRS says you're dead.
Yes, the IRS says that I'm deceased. So they sent me papers to send in to prove that I'm alive.
Teresa Williams received this letter in the mail that she would not be receiving a tax refund because, according to federal records, the 77-year-old died before she filed her taxes.
I'm a senior citizen. I'm on a fixed income. I need my money.
According to the letter, if Williams is indeed alive, the IRS says she can fix the problem by sending in photocopies of her driver's license, social security card, and other federal or state government-issued identification.
I sent in all of the papers. I sent my social security card, my driver's license, my Medicaid card, my insurance card.
But despite doing all of that and talking to IRS representatives on the phone, Williams has not received a dime of her tax refund check.
And that's why I'm talking to you, the newsman, to see if you can help me get it.
Yes,
I can't understand why they would do that with a 77-year-old senior citizen. I'm just so overwhelmed. I just don't know what to do.
After doing some research, I discovered she's not alone. According to a report released this month from the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, the IRS confirmed that more than 20,000 taxpayer accounts were, quote, deceased locked, in error due to both human and computer programming issues.
I think when you work all these years and you go into retirement, you shouldn't have this problem. At my age especially, my blood pressure is high today. I have a problem getting it under control. And the IRS, this has really been a real nightmare.
After I called and emailed the IRS, Williams received a refund. It was deposited directly into her account after our interview. If you're in this situation, the Social Security Administration says you should reach out to them and also submit a written request so your account can be unlocked. A common issue among many of our viewers: what happens if a family member dies without a will or a designated beneficiary? Melinda McGuire's brother died about 2 years ago in Orange Park. She went to withdraw money from his bank account to pay for funeral expenses. but because he didn't have a will when he died, and also because she wasn't a designated beneficiary, she couldn't withdraw any money.
On this form it said if there's up to $1,000 in there, we could get it. Well, apparently it's over $1,000. And it's been 2 years now. And we have not gotten any word from the bank whatsoever to get the funds.
Unless you're a joint account holder or a designated beneficiary, you cannot withdraw money from a deceased person's account in Florida. Even if it was possible, according to legal experts, withdrawing any money without proper court authorization would be illegal. More than likely, you will have to go through probate court, and that can be a lengthy process. This is a good reminder to have your affairs in order. Naming a beneficiary on your bank accounts is one of the most dependable ways to ensure that the money is distributed according to your wishes. No matter if you have a will or not, the beneficiary automatically inherits the money when you die. A single mother and public school teacher in desperate need of a wheelchair-accessible van to help care for her disabled daughter.
The things that we do have, I'm grateful for, but this would be life-changing.
How the community stepped in a big way next on this special edition of Ask Anthony. But first, a man buys his flight through a third-party website and ends up stuck in Jacksonville.
The money I tried to save on this airline is actually going to end up costing me a lot more than if I booked through someone else.
How I was able to solve his problem and some helpful information before you buy your next airline ticket.
Baby, please don't come out here. It's poo-poo.
A Jacksonville family's pool flooded with raw sewage after a JEA line burst in their backyard at the end of April. The next morning, the family's pool, which normally looks like this, bright and blue, was filled with dark brown water. The Kaufmans were sinking in frustration and felt the public utility wasn't taking the problem seriously.
If I was to hit one of their power poles, you better believe they'd come in after the money, whether that pole fell over or not. That's the same thing I'm asking for.
I aired their story on First Coast News at 6 and contacted JEA. Kaufman texted me to say they have reached a financial settlement with JEA and the public utility is taking care of their yard and pool.
Ask Anthony did an amazing job for us. I think it made them realize that we weren't messing around. I mean, this was something very important to us and something that we worked hard as a family to get to. So we'd like to thank you very much too, Anthony.
A man stuck in Jacksonville after booking his airline ticket through a third-party website. He soon discovered his flight didn't exist. Jeff Taylor flew from New Orleans to Jacksonville using a ticket he bought on a website called Trip.com and was planning to fly home on Silver Airways, which is a small regional airline with a limited schedule. But he quickly discovered when he got to the Jacksonville airport that he wouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. I contacted Trip.com, the website Taylor used to buy his airline ticket, and explained the situation. They called him that night.
Someone called me about an hour after you had talked to him and got me another plane ticket home and reimbursed me for my hotel. So I'm supposed to leave today. Hope I make it home. And I really want to thank you for getting involved with this. I don't think anything would have happened without you. So I really appreciate it.
Trip.com reached out to us and said they looked into the incident and issued Taylor a new airline ticket and also covered additional cost. Here's what you need to keep in mind when using a third-party booking site. Since someone else is making the reservation on your behalf, the airline will likely not communicate with you if there are changes. Remember, if you don't trust a website or the offer appears too good to be true, it probably is. This is probably one of my favorite stories. Candace Ford contacted me for help. She's a single mother and also a Duval County Public Schools teacher, and she was in desperate need of a new wheelchair-accessible van for her adult daughter. People in the community saw her story and made it all happen in a big way. Every single day, Candace Ford would lift her daughter Sydney into this van, something that was easier when she was a child. She's now 19, an adult, and it wasn't getting any easier for Candace. So in November, she emailed me for help.
Lifting her out, I can feel the pain in my back and in my hips. I can sometimes hear the popping, and that's not a good thing. So yeah, it's a lot harder now.
One Saturday afternoon, I met Candace in a parking lot and saw the condition of her 2014 Dodge Caravan. I knew I had to do something to help. A few days later, I aired her story during our 6 p.m. newscast. I also posted the story on social media. That night, I received a message from Pastor George Davis with Impact Church saying he would like to help.
The things that we do have, I'm grateful for, but this would be life-changing because, I mean, it would just be a huge godsend of some, you know, if we were able to get something like that.
Well, I guess you can say God indeed was sending something her way.
Move that side! Move that side! Move that side! Move that side! It's all Oh God, thank you!
It was hard for us to keep this secret, but we Pastor Davis and Impact made it happen for you. Pastor Davis told his congregation about Candace, and they raised the money to purchase this wheelchair-accessible van.
I told him, I said, I don't know what it's going to take, what it's going to cost, but we're going to do something to help. And folks cheered, and folks, got excited. And when it came time to give into our annual kind of legacy offering, people came with abundance, and it really opened the door for us to be able to step in and be a blessing.
A blessing the single mom and public school teacher has been patiently waiting for.
Y'all have no idea what this was going to be, because we can catapult to some other things that you just kind of moved out the way for us. So this is everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I get a lot of emails and I can't always respond immediately. So sometimes the best thing you can do, just tell me your problems in person. This year we brought Ask Anthony on the road all across the First Coast. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the problems we were able to solve. Sometimes it's just best to have a conversation in person. That's why I wanted to go out into the community and listen to your problems and concerns. We spent weeks holding listening sessions across the First Coast, including Burnt Ends Barbecue, Grumpy's, the Jacksonville Home and Patio Show, the Lab Bakery and Coffee Bar, Naval Station Mayport, Soul Food Bistro, and Urban Bean Coffee House Cafe. The listening sessions ended up being very popular, and I wanted to help more of you in a big way, so we packed up our First Coast News team in an RV and went on the road, thanks to Campers Inn RV. We started in Jacksonville, then Waycross, Fernandina Beach, Orange Park, and finally ended at Campers Inn RV of North Jacksonville. But don't worry, it's just our last stop for 2023. We hope to get back on the road in the new year. One issue that really caught my attention in Fernandina Beach was a letter Lauren Holden received from the Social Security Administration. That letter said that Holden was overpaid nearly $6,500 in widow benefits after the death of her husband. According to the Social Security Administration, more than $1.4 trillion in benefits is given to more than 71 million people each year. But according to reports, hundreds of thousands of people are told every year they need to pay some of the money back, even if it's not their fault.
I'm all alone.
Yeah.
And now they tell me I can't work, but they're going to take money away from me.
But they're going to take your money that you need. After I contacted the Social Security Administration, someone reached out to Holden. I was also told that if someone does not agree that they've been overpaid or believes the amount is incorrect, they can appeal. If they believe they shouldn't have to pay the money back, they can request that the agency waive collection of the overpayment. There's no time limit for filing a waiver. In Waycross, Georgia, one story from a sweet grandmother really touched my heart. Lynn Mock wears this mask because she doesn't want people to see her teeth. In 2021, she had a severe case of COVID and now has a rare blood disorder where she does not store some vitamins and minerals. The disorder causes her teeth to crumble and break off at the gums. She says she no longer smiles, and her grandson has noticed.
I pick him up from school every day, and we were on our way home, and he said, "Mama, do you love me anymore?" And I said, "Well, of course I do. What in the world made you ask me that?" And he said, "'Cause you never smile anymore and you never sing to me anymore." And that's when I realized not only does this affect me, it affects those around me because your whole mental attitude changes.
Miss Lynn is on a fixed income. She does have Medicare and Medicaid, but she can't find anyone to do the work she desperately needs. But I was able to find an oral surgeon right here in Jacksonville who is going to give her a consultation free of charge. During the holiday season, some of you may be giving or receiving gift cards as presents. We're looking at how you can avoid gift card scams just ahead on our Ask Anthony special. It's a common problem many of you say you have experienced, gift card scams. So you get the gift card and you discover it doesn't work properly or there's no money on it. The Federal Trade Commission says scammers have taken $450 million from unsuspecting shoppers in the last 3 years. The Federal Trade Commission reminds you to stick to the stores you trust, avoid buying gift cards from online auction sites, and check the card before you buy it. Make sure the protective stickers have not been tampered with and the PIN number is not showing. Also, keep your receipt or have a copy of the gift card's ID number. It will help you file a report if you lose the card. And if you get a phone call from someone claiming to be from the government or a tech company, know how to spot the scam. Legitimate companies won't ask for payment from a gift card. And if you think you're a victim of fraud, you can alert your state's attorney general and local law enforcement agency. A police report may help when you deal with the card issuer. Thank you for watching this special edition of Ask Anthony. And remember, if you have a problem you just can't solve, you can always email me at askanthony@firstcoastnews.com.